You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
So here we are today at Woodley Cricket Grounds, again the right field here in Southern California. A little bit more wind today, and Silicon Valley won the toss and have decided to bat up against the Blazers. Both Silicon Valley lost yesterday to Lashings, Los Angeles, Southern California Lashings, and San Diego Surf Riders also lost to Lashings. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams do competing against each other with that sort of having lost a couple of games in this series. And I broadcast with Jimmy Alcansaria at the beginning of the series, and he was explaining how the rotation on the sides changes quite dramatically each season. And here in the booth with me is Ash with the Corinthian Casuals. He plays for locally. And what do you think, Ash?
Hey David, good morning to all our viewers today. And yeah, it's a bright sunny morning at Woodley Park. We're here with the Silicon Valley Strikers taking on the San Diego Surf Riders. As you mentioned, both teams coming off losses. Um, San Diego Surf Riders will be feeling a little bit more hurt, coming off consecutive losses against both the Lashings and the Blazers. So they'll be looking to bounce back here today, and Strikers will be considering their loss yesterday as a one-off and trying to make amends on this bright and beautiful morning here at Woodley Park.
Very nice. And it's great to be working with you in the booth here, which has been tended by Vishal, who's the producer. And this series of games brought to you by Sunoco and also the Lakshmi Enterprises and DAFA News and Brew Enterprises as well. So many thanks for your support, and here we are ready to start the first ball. Jayawala opening facing the bowler Nikhil Datta. Do you know anything about Jayawala, Ash?
Yeah, Jayawala, just 19 years of age, good, exciting young talent here. He was declared as the junior player of the league by the USA. That's a good start there from Nikhil Datta, who's another slow right-arm bowler. Comes a lot like Sunil Narayan does in his action. He's slow, but he's very accurate with his line and length. Long on and deep mid wicket are out. He right there at his length, just full, asking the batsman to come forward, and Jariwala obliges.
Yeah, yesterday the Southern California Lashins attacked with a fast bowling attack for the first three changes. Here we're starting with the slow bowlers right away, so an interesting contrast already this morning.
Yeah, and the Surf Riders are filled with such combinations. They're a predominantly slow bowling lineup as Jariwala tucks that away for a single on the onside. They're a primarily slow bowling lineup. They have different kinds of slow bowlers, both right arm, left arm, leg spin, off spin. So there's a good variety within that category of orthodox left arm and slow bowlers. But they proved to be expensive, and especially some of their pacers were expensive yesterday, and they'll be looking to make amends, and they'll have to be really accurate at this ground here at Woodley. We know the square boundaries are longer than the straighter ones, and that's what they stuck to yesterday. They'd like to do more of the same today as well.
So what do you know about Malantha, who's now
So
facing?
yeah, so Lahiru Milanta is a Sri Lankan cricketer, a cricketer of Sri Lankan origin. He's played quite a bit in Sri Lanka and recently was selected in the major league as well. So he comes in with a wealth of experience. Here's Datta to Milanta. Again, that probing length from Datta, and Milanta, given his low score yesterday, would like to make amends today
That's
and do well for his team. Short and slightly cut away. Third man does a fine job clearing that up.
yeah, good dive there. So the Silicon Valley Strikers have two major league players because Sarab Navaralka also played, I think, with the Washington side and got 6 wickets in that game. Nicely pitched up there. Doing a good job of keeping the runs down in this first over. So it's what, just 2 off the over, 1 off the over. Excellent opening for the San Diego Surf Riders.
And we saw Milanta there just try to come down the track. I think he favors that matchup with Datta because Datta's not a big spinner of the ball. Just comes in with the angle, and especially with the new ball, he doesn't expect it to spin a lot. So he's favoring that matchup with the ball coming into him as the left-hander. And you talked about major league players. The Strikers also have another major league player in Shehan Jayasuriya, who's slotted to come in next, and he scored a blistering half century yesterday. So they're filled with some big hitting players and some big names in their lineup, and they'll be looking to perform.
Yeah, that Jasuria knock yesterday was phenomenal, and it took Nasak Patel all his strategy to get him out. They let him hit and caught him out on the leg side boundary eventually. But yeah, once he went, they collapsed, and so if he's coming in at number 3, we've got some exciting batting ahead of us.
Here's Fernando, and Gayan Fernando, an experienced campaigner here, was excellent. Was the pick of the bowlers yesterday for the Surf Riders against the East Bay Blazers. He took 4 for 31 in his 4 overs, and so comes in with some amount of confidence and optimism in terms of the way he's operating. What was the highlight yesterday about his bowling was the fact that he stuck to his back of length delivery and had plans in place and executed them to perfection. He'll be looking to do more of the same here today.
Lovely shot there out the off, but straight to the deep third man. But a single, and certainly Silicon Valley need them. So it look as though they may have reshuffled their batting order from yesterday, putting Jasuria up a little bit. I think Jasuria is related to the famous Jasuria in Sri Lanka, isn't he?
I'm not so sure about that, but
Popular name.
yeah.
He certainly bats like him, left-hander, and we saw the original Jasuria here in 1995 when they just came back from Sri Lanka with their World Cup. So that was a great moment here at Woodley Park.
Yeah, he certainly is a very aggressive player.
Soon yet to be seen.
Here's the Sri Lankan battle here with Fernando to Milanta.
Pushed out there on the offside for a single.
Yeah, he saw him coming down. Did Fernando just pitched it short right up his chin for Milanta, but nicely defended away for a single.
They're getting some lift this morning, these bowlers. A little bit of juice in the pitch. Slams that one down at a beautiful length. So Fernando bowling very well. As you say, to his plan.
Yeah, and we see Gotawara also, the keeper, standing a bit back. And this is because yesterday he himself was shocked at the amount of bounce that Fernando was generating. It resulted in 4 buys going yesterday, so it's good to see that they're learning from those experiences.
Pushes that one out on the off, goes straight to the point. Nothing doing. And yes, they are intelligent cricketers in the minor league. I mean, most of these guys have degrees from universities. They're all doing IT-related jobs, and they know how to crunch numbers and put runs on the board as well. So seems to be the new sort of cricketer nowadays. Hard to get by without an education as cricket gets going here in the United States. And that's going to be 4. No, it's stopped on the boundary. That's 4 runs. Okay. First boundary of today. Much needed by the Silicon Strikers. Moving on to 7 now. Run rate still, it moves it up to 3.5 from 1.64. 2 overs gone.
Yeah, Fernando will be disappointed with that. That was short and wide, asking to be hit, and Jariwala obliges. Just cut that away over the offside, and once it clears the infield here, it's going to go for the boundary. Slight release and pressure there from the strikers. It'll be a sigh of relief, but they'd want more to come now.
So they're coming on for a second over. Or do we have a change?
We do have a change. I think it's Nisar Patel coming in with his slow left arm orthodox. Just canny customer. Bowled well yesterday.
2 left armers, just back to back. Nisarga played for the US and one of the backbone of that team. Very seasoned player. A lot of international experience. Practices hard here in the nets at Woodley.
Right then, long on and deep mid wicket are the 2 fielders out. Bowls on the outside. Melinda tries to thread it through that gap between cover and point. Fernando does a good job of picking and throwing that, but they scamper back for 2 in time.
So score moves on to 9 now for no wicket. So beginning to build a bit of a partnership here, which Silicon Valley Strikers had a trouble doing yesterday against Southern California Lashings. They didn't have any major partnerships except in the 50 in the end. That's a lovely shot there, going for a boundary 4. Beautiful straight drive. So Melantha upping the tempo a little bit here at Woodley.
Yeah, Melinda just trying to get a move on now. Never tried to overhit that ball. That was pitched up. His eyes lit up on that, and just tried to punch that straight down the ground.
His timing was effortless, I thought. It made it look effortless anyway.
Yep, and 1 bounce and straight in the fence. Again,
Lovely
same
shot.
ball and, well, an identical
4.
result.
So 8 runs off 2 balls. So Nisarg will not be happy with that.
Yeah, like I said, he favors this matchup with the left armor coming into him, does Melanta, and he's taking full toll here. 2 balls, similar shots. Even the fact that it took just 1 bounce to get to the boundary makes these shots almost identical. What does Nisarg have to say about that? Goes faster and shorter, but that's just punched away too long on for a single.
Turning into a bit of an expensive over. 9 runs now. 11 runs off the over. 10 runs, sorry. That was a double. So score now 18 for 0. So beginning to generate a partnership here, which is what Silicon Valley Strikers had a problem with yesterday. So already an improvement. Pushes that one out on the onside. Very comfortable single there. And Nasag, a bit of an expensive over with a 13 off that over. Actually 12. But definitely now this run rate moving up to 6.3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Ready for the quick. Shows up right away with a little flick there to the leg side. Quick rotation of batsmen. And now strikers are beginning to saunter a little bit here in the park. Looking comfortable. Nothing really challenged them until up to this moment. So score now 20 for 0. Run rate up to 6.3.
Right, then same field for the left-hander as well. Deep third and deep square.
Still in the power play, of course, so only 2 allowed outside the 30-yard circle. And they've elected to put one at mid-wicket and the other one here at mid-on. Just inside the boundary. Sorry, deep third man. I was looking at the wrong end. Lets that one go. Wide.
Yeah, you think the plan here is to just keep it. Threads it through that gap between point and cover. That has to be at least 2. As cover does a good job of clearing that up.
Good
And
running.
they run back for 3. That's good running there from the 2 of them.
That's one thing that the junior cricketers can learn from these senior players. Is take the first one fast. Use the bat if you have to. Slide it. It's good to see it demonstrated. 24 for 0. As strikers here beginning to build a nice opening foundation for their innings, which will allow them to be more aggressive down the road. Excellent ball there by Fernando, right up on the length. And Jarabala offers no shot.
I think the plan here is clear from Milanta. He knows it's going to be back of a length, and so he's not going to get much to work with if he stays in his crease. And so he's looking to clear mid-on and mid-off by coming down the track. Is Jariwala going to do the same? No, he stays in his crease. You can see that Milanta really wants to take on this game, wants to take on Fernando. He really wants to get there at the striker's end. At this point, Jariwala should try to just rotate strike and not take any undue risks.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategy so far, playing well within themselves. Slaps that one down on the pavement and catchable. And it's a beautiful catch. Caught out there at mid-wicket. Beautifully taken there.
Gee, we were just talking about what Jariwala should do in terms of his role, in this partnership. He should just take that single and not take any undue risks. And that's exactly what Jariwala tries to do. That was short of a length. Yes, it was there to be hit, but he placed it right to the only fielder out there on the leg side, who takes an amazing catch. He had to come in a long way and then put in the dive, and there was excellent fielding there.
Absolutely agreed. It's a great effort, full stretch. And I think you called it. The fact that Fernando was setting up for a leg side hit, and his strategy paid off.
And that's what highlights the good thing about Fernando. He sticks to his plans no matter what the batsmen do.
Yeah,
And despite Milanta also trying to come forward, he still stuck to his plans to Milanta, and so he did the same thing to Jariwala, and Jariwala finally falls prey. So the Surf Riders draw first blood. It's 24 for 1 after 3.5 overs.
and here comes Jasuria, who we were speaking about earlier, promoted up the order. I think he came in at about 5 or 6 yesterday, and certainly showed that he was in form. And to get him out, it was a very crafty bit of strategy. Very similar, actually, to what just happened. They set it up for the leg side hit. So, so one Sri Lankan replaces another.
And the Sri Lankan bowler comes in as well. So it's a Sri Lankan battle happening out there. Both batters Sri Lankan, the bowlers also Sri Lankan. So this is gonna be exciting. And don't be surprised if you see a right arm off spinner coming in from the other end next over.
We shall see. Good guess. A nice little flick off his legs there, and it'll just go out on the onside for a single.
That was a confident flick there from Jayasuriya as we conclude the fourth over. It's 25 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
The 8 and almost went the full length of the innings. Curtain. So let's see whether your assessment is right. What do you think?
I think they may not go for spin right now. Oh, it is. I think it is. Yeah, it is Nikhil Datta. So, yeah, right arm off spin coming into play again. And that was given that these are two left-handers and you'd want someone who takes the ball away. So, Milanta coming in.
Jasuria plays that shot beautifully, doesn't he?
Yep.
Very confidently. Almost like a Sri Lankan style shot, really.
They're good players of spin, aren't they, the Sri Lankans?
Yes, they've had their practice, haven't they? Liathran and some great spinners in the past.
Right, then he'll be looking to go over the offside here with Milanta. That's short and beaten him for pace there.
He disguised that faster one very well.
Yeah, with the ball coming from because he hides the ball behind his back, you need to be careful of his grip at the point of release.
That one he used his wrist backhand spin, so he certainly varies it on his delivery. Hits the stumps, and there's a run off that. Stumps lit up.
That's good awareness there from the two of them. They saw the ricochet and saw an opportunity and took it immediately.
Now the lights show us an opportunity. It's like traffic lights almost.
I think the key here to playing Datta is to just treat every ball as coming into the batter here, because he's not going to turn it much away. As Milanta tried to get a piece of that, but just got an inside edge onto the onside.
Yeah, Jasuria handles this sort of spin very well. He kills it and pushes it to the onside.
Especially with the angle that Datta's coming in from.
Yeah,
to get that big off spinner going away from the left-handers is an extremely tough ball to bowl.
This time he pushes it out on the offside, but for no run. Picked up by a point.
Yeah, 2 overs now. He's almost reaching the completion of his 2 overs. Here in the power play is Datta, and he's been extremely accurate with his lines and lengths. Conceded only 5 runs till now. Let's see if he can finish it off.
That one's shorter, and Jasura pushes it out on the leg side. Very comfortable with that shot. Good innings there, good over by Dutta, and just what 3, 4 off the over. So keeping the run rate down a little bit as the score is now on 30 for 1, and these two batsmen very experienced.
हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
बहुत शुक्रिया, प्लीज।
अरे आप भी समोसे?
You will love these samosa. सुना है मार्केट में नए आए हैं।
और नए शे हम नहीं खाते हुए।
नए माने?
वो लक्ष्मी है ना?
लक्ष्मी के फ्रोजन समोसे?
जी हाँ, ऑथेंटिक पंजाबी टेस्ट वाले।
एक समोसा और
आपको नए वाले तो खाने नहीं थे?
यार ये तो लक्ष्मी है ना।
Introducing Lakshmi Frozen Samosa range.
Them and motivating them when needed, and
I'm passing on information, that you see from the other end as well. It's always helpful. Making suggestions.
so again, Gayan goes out of the attack after his 2 overs. That's customary given what we saw yesterday from Fernando. And in comes Adnesh, who is the second of their 2 quicks for the Surf Riders. And Adnesh was disappointing yesterday with his lines and lengths, while Gayan stuck to his plans. Adnesh was often offline and paid the price for it. Conceded over 40 runs in his 4 overs yesterday without much reward, and so we'll be looking to make a comeback here.
Adnesh, local product?
Yeah, he is here from the USA and bowls right arm quick.
Short.
As he bowls short, and Jayasuriya pounces on that one, saw the length early and obliges comfortably to hike that over mid-wicket into empty space, and another 4 runs for the Sri Lankan.
I think he was looking to intimidate with a bouncer, and it didn't intimidate at all. It was just too short. Just teed it up nicely.
Yeah, Jayasuriya is not going to be intimidated at that pace and at that length. If anything, the bouncer needs to be at his helmet and has to be quick. That was just a loose delivery first up. Just a nothing ball, honestly.
And the captain of the San Diego Surf Riders from Australia, he seems to be doing. So score now 34 for 1. And do you know anything about the San Diego captain?
Yeah, Greg Hay is certainly a very experienced player. We see he's an aggressive opening right-hand batsman, and we'll see him later on in the game as well. But again, setting his field here, I think with his plans, especially yesterday, his plans were spot on. I don't think there was much fault with his plans. It's just that he would want his bowlers to step up now today and stick to their guns, stick to what they know best.
Yeah, not to play within themselves, not to be forced out. But that's the sign of a competitive team when they can do that.
Right then, Jayasuriya taking a peek on the onside again.
Blocks that one, just pushes it back to the bowler.
Yep, that's where he wants to be, does Adnesh. That's kind of the line and the length.
Good comeback after that loose boundary. So score now 34 for 1 as these two begin to build a partnership. Malantha on 18, Jayasuriya on 7. Run rate now of 6.18. 5 overs gone. So it's the last of the power play. Flicks that one out on the leg side, and there would be a single. So Tondale doing a good job after being hit for 4 in the first ball. 2 dot balls now and a single. Changed his length, moved it up a little bit.
Right, then both fielders out on the square boundaries. Has to be shot, this ball. It is, and Milanta tries to nudge it through.
Cheeky single there, get away with it. Yeah, good little guide, but did go straight to the fielder there. Third
Yeah,
man.
Milanta would be disappointed with that. He would want it to go either side of that fielder. That would have been at least a couple.
He chose the right shot, just directed in the put in the wrong direction.
Right, then final ball of the power play.
Pushes that one out on the offside, just misses the outstretched hands there, and the boundary has been made. It was just missed stopping that. So that's 4 off Tondale's last ball of the power play. So Dutta now just adjusting his field as we come into right-hander to the Malantha here. Power play is over, so we've got more fielders on the boundary.
And this is good captaincy from Greg Hay. Knows that Datta's been bowling well with his 2 overs in the power play. Gets him for a third over here. And Datta would want to reward that with a wicket. The key here for the strikers though is to recognize that opportunity, recognize the moment here, and not throw away a wicket to a good bowler who's been getting his rhythm today, who's been bowling good lines and good lengths.
And he's really chosen a very defensive field. He doesn't really have many players up front, so a lot of singles potentially here. Goes out to deep point over there. Deep third man, mid-wicket, mid-on, mid-off, and then fine leg. So all on the boundary. Got a short fight leg as well. Just one cover, 1 point. A little mix up in the middle there.
Oh, there was an opportunity right there. Huge mix-up between the two Sri Lankans. Jayasuriya asking for that run was 3/4 of the way down the pitch, but Milanta says no. Was hit straight to the fielder. There never was a run, and if it had been collected properly, it could have been curtains for Jayasuriya.
So a good call back by Malantha. Jasuria still there facing on 13. Pushes it away, but doesn't get it cleanly. Moving his feet well out to the pitch of the ball. Slightly shorter ball there by Dutta.
Yeah, this is what you don't want them doing. You don't want to take any unnecessary risks. You don't want to manufacture something out of nothing to a good bowler. Yes, he's only going at 3 and over right now as he tries to finish his third over.
Nice flick there.
And just try to get those singles away on the onside and try to milk him away. That's the end of the 7th over. The Silicon Valley Strikers are 44 for 1.
What's up, Doug?
got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So a little bit of adjustment on the field here. Bringing on a spin bowler, I'd say, Ash, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they bring on Venuri now. Did not play yesterday, did Venuri, so this is one of the changes that they've made, the Surf Riders. Looks like this is another pace option in their arsenal. So excited to see what he brings to the table for them.
So they decided to add a third quick to the team today. That one's wide outside the off stump, but it could have been nicked there by the batsman. Sorry, I just managed to avoid it. Just replaying the shot to see what he could do better.
Very steaming action here from Venuri. He comes in quick and comes in really front on. There's not much side on to him as the keeper goes up now.
Yeah, he's a bit of a short quick, isn't he? He's not the lanky kind. Some of the fastest bowlers have been under 6 feet, believe it or not, historically.
Right then, struck him on the pads, but are judged as too high possibly by the umpire. I think the idea here is right. With the keeper up, it's tough for both Belanta and Jasurya to work the back of the length off the front foot. It's tough for them to come down the track and exploit the options straight down the ground. So they have to play off the crease. And that brings in the LBW and other forms of dismissal as we just saw with Jasurya.
Yeah. Good analysis. Nicely outside the off stump, pushes it out to deep point there. Just a single. Score moves on to 46 for 1, I think. Venuri doing a good job here with his bowling. And I guess the San Diego Surf Riders electing to go with an extra quick bowler today. So they have 3 fast bowlers.
Yeah, it just gives them a lot of options. It gives Captain Craig here a lot of options. As Venuri strays one down the leg side, just flicked away for a single. Because yesterday, when they were stuck with only 2 seaming options, we had a lot of the spinners bowling at the death, and that cost them quite a few runs. The last 2 overs went for 20 plus runs yesterday for the Surf Riders, and that's not what they would want from their lineup. So with the pace attack, it gives them more options at the death, and so they can work the spinners as and when required through those middle overs and try to build some pressure here.
And strikers also have some very good fast bowling, so it's a good matchup from the fast bowling department. Wide, signaled by the Australian umpire from Perth, David Mildrop.
Right then, it's been quite a dry few overs here for the strikers. You could sense that there's some sort of boundary incoming. Even though they've been able to nudge along some singles, they'd like to get some more than that. Where does Malanta look here?
He flicks that one out on the onside through covers. And they're going to go for 2. Great running. They might get an overthrow here, if they would have done if they hadn't been overrun at this end. So these two, a little bit of a missed call earlier, but they seem to be running pretty well between the wickets now.
Yeah, and that brings up the 50 here for the strikers. It's been a good 50 here, approximately 8 overs it's taken them. They'd like to now get a move on. They've built a solid foundation here, these two.
Yeah, the strikers, this is a confidence-inducing start. Lovely flick out there to the leg side again, and deep cover just sliding to stop it for as the two batsmen run 2 runs. Score moves on to 52 for 1 with a run rate of 6.38.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So 52 for 1 with Jasoria on 15 and Melantha on 26. So these two putting on a nice partnership together now. The run rate required a run rate of 6.5 in 8 overs. So at that rate, we've got a projected score here of about 140 plus, which is a winning score on this wicket.
Right then, Datta here for his last over. Can they sneak in 2 here? No, the deep fielder is too quick on that ball. And this is good captaincy here from Greg Hay. Recognizes the opportunity here with Datta bowling really, really well. Wants to get done with Datta and wants to sneak in these overs quickly as these batsmen try to take the attack to the Surf Riders' best bowler till now. Struck him high on the pad.
I love the way Dutta uses that back of his wrist to get that spin going. It's like kind of spinning the bottom of the ball, so it's rotating away from the batsman as it lands.
And he complements that with good line and length.
Yes, that's very difficult to do with that sort of bowling. And that one beats him, stays low.
He tried to get that gap over extra cover, tried to go inside out there, did Melantha. Sneak through by Datta. So Melantha is getting a bit frustrated now. We've seen him try a few options in the last over too, and here again. Need to sense this opportunity now.
Gets him again on the pads. So Dutta definitely winning this battle at the moment. Battle of wits between the backhand spin bowler and Melantha.
Right, and this is where Jayasuriya needs to have a talk with Melantha and suggest what he needs to do. He's a set batsman. He doesn't want to give his wicket away here.
This time he's confidently hits it out to the offside, rotates the batting, and Jayasuriya's had a chance to look at Dutta, this last ball of the last 2 balls of the over.
Right then, last ball of Datta's spell. The message here should be don't do anything silly. Don't give him a wicket.
And that's going to happen as just sort of confidently plays it off his legs to the leg side.
And that's the end of a brilliant spell by Datta. 4 overs, none for 13. And that brings us to the conclusion of the 9th over. The strikers are 55 for the loss of 1 wicket.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
All right, score now 55 for 1. Tondale back on to bowl. Quick from the Wong end there. Coming in, this one's a bit shorter. Missed there by Jasuria.
Yeah, you can visibly see that these two batters are trying to get a move on. They know that a good first inning score here is around the 140, 150 mark. We've seen that across the 4 games that have happened at this ground this week. We've seen all 4 teams have won batting first, and so that's what the strikers opted to do once they won the toss. And they'd want the batters now to back that up by posting a good score.
Nice little flick there to leg and get a single out of it. Jasuria not hitting as hard as he did in yesterday's innings. Still feeling his way a little bit.
Yeah, both players looking scratchy out there. Jasuria must have felt like he missed out there. Both square leg and fine leg were inside. That was a ball asking to be hit there. It should have got that over those 2 fielders there. Instead, did not get much bat on that.
Yeah, so the captain's brought in a couple of players into covers now to cover these shorter shots. This one is lofted high, and it looks as though it'll be a 6.
Gee, what a shot that is from Melanta. He sat on that one and was waiting on that off the back foot, and he almost hit like a tennis-like forehand there over extra cover for 6. You often see the inside-out shot from the front foot, but look at this off the back foot and cleared that comfortably. The power he generated along with the timing, almost immaculate there from Melanta. That will be a sigh of relief from him.
The 2 boundaries that he's hit have been beautifully timed. He does make it look effortless. So now he moves on to 33 and 25 balls. And in comes Tondale. Pushed away leg side for a single. And now tempo picking up a little bit here for the strikers. Strike rate increasing.
Yeah, this is not what you want from Adnesh here. We saw the Surf Riders bowling extremely economically and putting the brakes on the strikers' run rate. And you don't want that release of pressure here. You want Adnesh to stick to his plans and try to sneak in a wicket here.
And this time he's pushed away on the leg side. Just escapes the outstretched hands there of the square leg.
Gee, yes, that's a missed opportunity there by Fernando. Was going fast and going across him with the angle was tough to judge, but you think he should have taken that. Still, though, there was a poor ball on the leg side, was asking to be hit there. Again, Jayasuriya picked the fielder. He'll be disappointed that there's two boundaries he's missed out on.
Yes, especially for his hard-hitting self. Almost did a reverse sweep there, but decided at the last moment to change and then hits another 6. Glorious adjustment by the batsman mid-flight. So we've got 2 6s of this over now, which is quite remarkable.
Gee, what a shot over extra cover, and that brings us to the conclusion of the 10th over at the halfway mark. The strikers are 70 for 1.
So the breeze is picked up here at Woodley. It's the best breeze we've had in the last 4 days. So it'll be good for the spinners. And Jasuria now on 19, Melantha on 40. Melantha having struck 2 beautiful 6s in the last over. And change of bowling here. We do Nisarg Patel back on after having 12 off his first over. So let's see whether he can contain the batsman. This time they brought him on after power play was over, and he's going to play to his leg side field, which he's very good at getting catches on the boundary. So let's see what happens. Here we go. Struck right back over the bowler's head. Picked up there by mid-on, and it'll just be a single.
And there was a period of good dry overs being bowled by Datta and by Vemuri in between, and now the brush is just released with that over from Adnesh. Two beautiful sixes from Milanta, and he corrects his strike rate now as he just tucks this away onto the onside, looking for two. Jayasuriya denies that call.
Yeah, Milanta the faster of the two between the wickets, and looking for that second, but not getting it. Nice flick off the legs there for a single, leg side. They're doing well to run two to these fielders that are on the boundary, so they're taking advantage of the fact that the captain has put the players on the boundary. There's nobody in close on the leg side.
Yeah, and they're putting pressure on these outfielders here, and they're able to sneak in a run of the misfield. We've seen a few misfields here from the Surf Riders.
Here we go, straight to the fielder this time around. Picked up, just a single.
Yeah, Jayasuriya knows now it's time to go. Yeah, both batters have to accelerate now from both ends.
And they're well in position to do it. These guys are seeing the ball big. And the mishits are bringing the runs at the moment. This one is swung on beautifully to leg, catchable, and I think it's going to be a six. Right off his legs there, beautiful shot. So really beginning to motor now, the strikers.
Third six here for Milanta, and he just keeps growing in stature as he goes on into his innings. That's a short ball there again from Patel. He anticipated Milanta possibly coming down the track, but Milanta says, I'll go over square leg. And he gets under that ball and lofts it over square leg for a huge six.
Yes, Patel will not be happy with that. And this game in the park brought to us by Sunoco. And in comes Patel again and ups to jam him on the offside. A quick scampered single. And as we said before, Nisarga, very experienced bowler. So okay, score 82 for 1 now with the run rate moved up to 7.45. So that gives us a projected rate of about 150. It's a good score by strikers at the moment.
Right, and Marty Kane comes into the attack with his left arm orthodox. And both these batters will favor this matchup again because it's the left-hander coming into their pads. And because he's coming from that angle, it's tough to get the LBW in too. So they'll favor the leg side and their options there. Here's Marty wide outside the off stump.
No wide called. Milanta on 49 now, so it's been a very good innings for him. Three lovely sixes, beautifully timed. And 31 balls to his 49. Marty Kane, very experienced from New Zealand. Lives in San Diego. Wide ball. Great bat. Great crowd pleaser, great favorite with a lot of the local teams here. And a lot of the cricket moms, they all adore him.
Here's Marty again, trying to go wide outside off. He doesn't want to bowl anything in that arc for both Melanta and Jayasuriya. And so swept away for a single on the onside.
Classic case of hitting across the line there, which was a Viv Richards specialty, right side the off stump to leg right there. He's deliberately bowling wide, and this time a bit too wide. He's given adjudged a wide there.
Giving absolutely no air there, does Marty Kane on that ball. Just wants it to go faster and flatter. Again, fast and
Catchable.
flat and pulled away.
Oh,
and that's dropped in the deep from the fielder. Regulation catch there, but came in a bit too forward with the fielder, and ball just got big on him. That's going to be a costly drop there as Melanta brings up 50. What an excellent inning this has been from Melanta, and he's got another life here.
Marty, just an excellent fielder, and I think he's got potential run out. Quick appeal for the run out. The umpire not giving it. So a close call there for Jayasuriya.
Gee, what a brilliant athlete Marty Kane is. We saw him take that catch in the deep, diving forward, and then again, this time of his own bowling, just slides in, picks and throws it right at the stumps.
Intelligent bowling. Now this is catch. Now it's over the fielder, and it's going to run away for 4 runs. So score moves on to 92. A little bit streaky here, the strikers, but getting the runs they need, and that drop is, as you mentioned, Ash, going to be very significant down the road. I think it gave them their 50.
So at the end of 12 overs, strikers are 92 for 1.
वेलकम टू डैलेस। हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
बहुत शुक्रिया। प्लीज
Bit of bad luck there for Marty Kane in that over. He had a catch that should have been taken, dropped, and then almost got a run out. So definitely making things happen out there. The slow left armer chose to keep a low trajectory to these two hard-hitting batsmen, and their partnership now is well over 50. These two, so they've done a remarkable job of keeping strikers on a great strike rate. That one moved beautifully.
Right then, in comes Vedant Chen, who's a slow right arm leg spinner here. Comes from an unusually long run up for a spinner, but spins the ball quite a bit. And again, another option that's just spinning into these left-handers. They'd want to get rid of these left-handers quickly now, the Surf Riders. That's shot and pulled away onto the onside in the gap. And they sneak 2 there. That's good running again. Despite getting the odd boundary, they're running these singles and doubles in between, which is just further adding pressure.
Vedant, a USC product, and has a net next to his engineering department right there on campus. He's done a lot of coaching inner city stuff. And against Lashings, he had 3 very good overs and then was hit for 3 consecutive sixes by Rayap. So he'll be looking to have a tighter finish to his bowling numbers. This one is picked up, and it's going to be 4 runs. There's 4 right off the bat there.
Yeah, he saw the length early, saw the flight on that ball, and just sat down and swept that with disdain in between the gap between long on and mid wicket. Absolutely nailed that, did Jayasuriya. And he too is now pressing the foot on the accelerator.
Yeah, I think San Diego riders, certainly surf riders, need a wicket here. They've got to break up this partnership as soon as they can.
Shot this time, signal wide. Yeah, that was the correction ball there from Jan. Saw, flighted the previous one up, went for 4. This was too short, but also too wide this time. And signaled so by the umpire.
Score rate now up to almost 8 and over, 99 for 1. So the next run will bring up the century. That reverse sweep there by Jayasuriya. There's the 100 up, and they're in at 2, so it's 101 for 1. So Striker's really in control at the moment after having lost yesterday to Southern California lashings. These two are putting on a torrid display in the middle.
Yeah, these are ominous signs here for the Surf Riders. If these two continue, and with the hard-hitting batsman left in the shed, this can be a big total here for them to chase down. They need to get something going their way now.
Vedant just airs that out nicely. Earns the respect on that particular ball of Jayasuriya, who's now on 33 with 30 balls. He's been picking up his run rate too. Malantha, 54 off 33. Scored 101 for 1. Almost an 8 overs per over strike rate. Here's that one out. Jayasuriya picks it up. This time they managed to cut it off, and it'll just be a single. Fielder anticipated that well. And that'll be the end of this over at 103 now for 1. Vedant Jain, 10 off the over.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Right then, we're here at the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, powered by Lakshmi Enterprises. Here's Vemuri to Jayasuriya as he slog sweeps that straight to the fielder, and this time it's taken. Just as Jayasuriya was trying to get a move on, Vemuri gets the wicket, and it's a good catch that finally has been taken by the Surf Riders. They break through right at the moment they would have wanted.
Yeah, that's an invaluable wicket. Jayasuriya yesterday, 58 runs, and he was very hard to get out. Probably a little tired from yesterday's effort. Tremendous catch, this time held, which makes a huge difference. And interesting bowler change there by the captain as well, taking off Greg Kane and then bringing on Vemuri. So the captain change there creates the magic that they needed, and Surf Riders much needed wicket there to break up that partnership that was beginning to score big runs. Graham yesterday out for a duck, didn't last long at all, so he'll be looking to impress this time around, and from Jamaica originally. So let's see how he does with Malantha, who's now on 54 after over 33 balls. The run rate now at 7.75. So we want to thank Lakshmi Enterprises and for their support of minor league cricket as well, as the new batsman Graham gets ready to face Vanuri, who struck with his first ball. Vital wicket. Here comes Vanuri. Play and a miss. Bounces off the wicketkeeper, who's close up. Pretty close up for a fast bowler like Vanuri. Looking to keep Graham in his crease there.
Yeah, the message is very clear for Graham here. I think he just needs to keep going on with the momentum, possibly increase the momentum already going the striker's way. And that's what he tries to do as he sees the length ball and doesn't get a full hold of it. Goes to the leg side for a single.
Yeah, confidence-inducing innings this by the strikers, certainly after yesterday's effort against Lashings, where they're always behind the 8 ball. Today they're ahead of the 8 ball with a score of 7.63 and over, and score now on 103 for 2, with in our 14th over currently. Malantha to face on 54.
And just one ball that has struck Graham's bat, and he's decided for a new one. Melantha trying to be cheeky there, missed out. So 3 fielders behind square on the offside. So anything short and wide, you'd think Melantha would fancy his chances.
Yes, I'd agree with you. He's had a good innings, Malantha. Those 3 sixes is the core of it. This time he hooks to the onside and picks up a single. That brings Graham, who's now on 1, looking to build his innings for a confidence boost. And he's changing bats again. There's at least 4 bats coming out for choice here. Seem to opt for the slightly lighter bat. So Brew Enterprises and Lakshmi Enterprises, Dafa News and Sunoco bringing us this game. In he comes Vanuri.
Slow ball.
Quick application there by Graham.
And that's the end of a wonderful over here from Vanuri. At the end of the 14th over, the strikers are 104 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Verdant back into the attack here. His second over. 10 off his first. Leg spin. This time it's picked up by Jasuria. Melantha, sorry. But Jasuria-like shot there. And another of his trademark sixes. Just a glorious shot. Timing was perfect. So 4 sixes now in Melantha's innings. He's moves on to 61 off 36 balls. So that's an impressive attacking display by the Sri Lankan.
Yeah, you feel like Vedant is trying to buy a wicket here with bowling that flighted delivery outside. But this is just in the slot for Melantha as again he looks straight down the ground, straight to Marty Kane. Throws to the deep end.
Great throw there by Marty Kane. Very safe fielder.
And so when he's flighting it, I think both with Graham and Melantha, what he needs to take care of is that he's flighting it outside the arc. At the point at which it's in the arc, we saw with both Melantha and Jayasuriya earlier, and we know with Graham, it's not going to stay in the infield once it's there. they're gonna go for it and they're gonna clear the boundary that too easily.
Yeah, they have that scoop shot down, Malantha especially. So 111 for 2, and Striker's definitely in the driver's seat at the moment. There's score rate just under 8 and over.
Flighted again, and he goes bang! That's into orbit there from Graham. Cleared the trees, cleared the boundaries, and well, the deep fielders there were like all of us buying a lotto ticket. They thought they had a chance.
But a bit of a nightmare for him with his back, these sixes and this over.
Yeah, I think the message needs to be clear here from the captain, whether he wants Vedant to take wickets or contain runs, because at this point he's not able to do either of those things. With those flighted deliveries right into the arc, Graham just clears his front leg and just smashes that through on the onside.
Captain just having a word with him as well, so we'll see what he does this time.
Short this time.
Shorter.
Just taken away for a single.
Probably told him not to air it up as much because that's what set up the sixes previously.
Yeah, and that's always the risk you take with a leg spinner, who are prone to being expensive but also taking wickets at times. And so this is a gamble here from Greg Hay. Hasn't paid off yet. Wide again this time. Milantha trying to go over extra cover.
So Vedant really getting some training with this minor league cricket. If it wasn't for minor league, he would be just playing regular league cricket here. So this experience invaluable. I'm sure he'll apply it to his regular game here at Woodley. I think he still plays for Southern California Cricket Club, USC. This time another 6 by the looks of things. Clears the boundary. 6 over mid-on, and a rough outing there for Vedant. 3 sixes off that over, so 20 runs and a dot ball.
So 15 overs gone, the strikers are 124 for 2.
So at 124 for 2 now, Milantha on 68. Graham, the strike batsman. Milantha now is probably the highest score of this weekend.
Right then, in the slot, and Graham obliges, places that into the gap for another boundary, and just a flurry of boundaries coming now for the strikers. They're getting a move on, and Graham, as soon as he's come in, is pushed on the accelerator.
Yes, that moved into their fearless mode. Got plenty of wickets on hand. And Milantha looking to push his score up as well.
So 24 runs now of the last 7 deliveries, prompting Greg Hay to make changes in the field. With a packed leg side now, and the fielders on the offside coming in. With Vedant's over going for 20 runs, I think that also means we're going to see no more spin in this innings. And it's just going to be pace here for these death overs. As Memory charges in.
That's a wide, so that's 2 runs. And as you pointed out earlier, we got 3 fast bowlers now that are bringing in extra quick for this series.
Yeah, and he had to bowl that line there, did Venuri, with the field stacked on the leg side. He couldn't afford to give any width whatsoever to the batters.
Doesn't quite get a hold of that, so it'll just be a single out to mid-on there.
This is good batting here. They're just going every ball now. Graham and Melanta.
Another wide ball. That's one way to stop the runs, but it's an expensive way.
Yeah, these extra deliveries won't make the captain happy.
Yeah. Yeah, the captain has his job cut out. So Greg Hay, he's played in the Big Bash League in Melbourne, and a lot of experience with this sort of cricket, so it'll be a challenge for him today. This time picked up, catch a ball, and Graham is out, caught on the boundary. So that's had to wait there to see that it held it. We've had a couple of drops earlier in the day. So the score now 132 for 3. Much needed breakthrough as Graham, the outgoing batsman. Melantha still there on 69. Probably the highest score of the series, this weekend series so far.
Yeah, that was pitched up again. Graham just wasn't really able to get under it and get the elevation on that. And Guyan Fernando there on the long on boundary, able to make amends for his dropped catch earlier in the innings.
Well spotted.
So the Surf Riders break through. That's the 3rd wicket down here. But really, they'd like to contain runs right now.
Yeah, Suri is a good bowler. What do you know about his batting? Incoming batsman.
Yeah, Suri started off as a good bowler, started off being quite wicket-taking with his bowling, but off late has emerged as a good hard-hitting batsman who can come in and strike the ball cleanly. And so that's what they'll be expecting, the strikers.
So really not quite the breakthrough, but definitely a much needed wicket. 2 or 3 more wickets and slowing this run rate of 8.52 would really help the San Diego Surf Riders at the moment. Melantha on 69 off 40 balls, and Suri, the facing batsman, just come in.
And as we see in front of us, Nisarg Patel also warming up. So I wonder if that's the strategy from here on, whether we are still going to see some more slow bowling. Here's Venuri again after taking a wicket. That's an excellent grab there by Gorawara, or at least parried it through to fine. Would have been 5 wides if not for that.
Yeah, it was an excellent dive, and to the leg side, which is always a hard thing for the wicketkeeper, because it's very hard to spot that ball. Very quick reflexes. Ashwin coming in, the umpire, moving onto the onside for the left-handed batsman.
Yeah, quite the umpire's nightmare, having both left and right-hand batters.
Adds a lot of walking to the equation. Beautiful off drive there, straight to deep extra cover. Cuts it off for a single. And now Ashwin has to walk. Oh, he's deciding to stay there. It would slow the game down quite a bit. Yeah. Certainly in American college cricket, we just bowl 10 overs from one end then the other to speed things up. In we go again, and just outside the off stump. Excellent piece of bowling by Venuri.
Despite the wides, there's been a good over from Venuri.
Yeah. I think he's been the best of the bowlers for San Diego.
He definitely has been the pick of the bowlers here today. And as the umpire Ashwin not changing ends, he's saying I've had enough of that.
Right. Yeah, Slimmer's diet, that one. Yeah, Venuri's picked up 2 wickets so far, so he's having a good session.
That was a slow ball there. Suri wasn't really able to get under that. And that brings us to the end of the 16th over. The strikers are 136 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Yeah, so unless we get another breakthrough, excellent over there by Venuri with his 2 wickets already. San Diego are going to be chasing a relatively, probably the highest score of this series of games, as Silicon Valley strikers on 136 for 3, with a lot of batting to come as well.
Here's Nisarg. Pitches it up, beats everyone. And that's gonna be 4 byes here. This last thing they want here, the Surf Riders. Giving runs that are not off the bat. Which adds to already adds to the pressure that's already been inflicted on them by the strikers.
Yeah, Nisarg will be very unhappy with that.
Right then, Suri's had a few swings and misses.
Yeah, Suri hasn't quite got the timing of Malantha, who's now on 70 with 41 balls, off 41 balls. Suri on 0 off 2. Lovely catchable. It's going to fall between. Oh, good try there by the captain, Greg Hay. Trying to reach the ball over his shoulders, but just diving and missing.
Gee, that was a tough catch because it was swirling and the captain had to go backwards, which is never easy, especially with the hat that he's wearing blocking his view while looking up. That was a tough catch.
And kind of swirling wind too, which we haven't had to contend with over the last 3 days. Definitely, you can see the trees movement. A lot more wind here today, crosswind.
For the strikers at least, it means Milanta's on strike. That's a wide again. Again, extras runs that are not off the bat. We're only 1 ball into this over, or 2 balls into this over, and only 1 run's come off the bat.
So Nisarg really having some bad luck here. Let's see if we can. It changes. This
Proper
one's
spinner
gonna
there.
be 6. It's right over our
Is
booth
it on
here.
our heads?
Yeah.
No.
It cleared the commentator's booth and also the gantry behind us, so that gives you a sense of how well hit that ball was.
Yeah. Suri's previous hit, he got a top edge on that, and it almost went to covers. But this time, there was nobody edging that ball.
He fully middled that one. As you say, Suri showing that he can bat.
Yeah, and he's showing his frustration at us commentators, who were saying he was playing swings and misses. Again, tossed up. This time it's a top edge. This time, nobody's calling for it. Oh,
It's his caught. Brilliant catch at the last moment there. And Suri goes after hitting the biggest 6 I've seen of the whole tournament. Well, not of this series of games, anyway, not necessarily a tournament, but Suri looking to move the score along, 7 and 5 balls. Caught mishitting that one.
gee, that's an excellent catch, because the keeper was flummoxed. He had nowhere to go. He was just with his hands up his waist, not knowing what to do. Because of his helmet, he couldn't see exactly where the ball was. So it was down to fine leg to come in and grab that. Almost overran that, but that's a good catch there by fine leg. Exactly what the Surf Riders need at this point. Patel gets a wicket now.
Yeah, much deserved wicket. I mean, he'd had the 4 byes to start the over, and finally gets the mishit that he was looking for. And that's how he gets a lot of his wickets, actually. He's a very intelligent bowler, works out the batsman, gets him to mishit and picks up a catch. And of course that miss in the middle there by the captain earlier was a tough catch, but definitely a chance. So Greg Hart there.
Yeah, and the general strategy here from the strikers batters as Singh works out is to either hit out or get out. And that's kind of what they're doing here. Milanta on the other end is just seeing all this happen, not getting a lot of the strike here.
And 3 overs to go after this one. So another strong hit, almost caught, kept in front. So just be a single off that, definitely a chance. So strikers with plenty of wickets in hand now just going to try and hit everything they can, miss hits or not. So Nisarg almost picked up another wicket there.
Yeah, and that brings the 150 up for the strikers as we reach the conclusion of the 17th over with a ball to spare.
Malantha on 70 now as he faces Nisarg and picks that one up beautifully. And they'll just run an easy single. And of course that gives him the strike as well.
So at the end of the 17 overs, it's 151 for 4.
वेलकम टू डैलेस हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है
बहुत शुक्रिया प्लीज
अरे आप भी समोसे
यू विल लव दिस समोसा सुना है मार्केट में नए आए हैं
ओए नए शे हम नहीं खाते हुए
नए माने
वो लक्ष्मी है ना
लक्ष्मी के फ्रोजन समोसे
जी हाँ, ऑथेंटिक पंजाबी टेस्ट वाले।
एक समोसा और
आपको नए वाले तो खाने नहीं थे
ओ यार ये तो लक्ष्मी है ना
Introducing Lakshmi Frozen Samosa range.
All right, here we are again at 151 for 4 with Fernando back on and beating the batsman this time around. Nisarg giving him a little applause because any run saved right now is very important. The score at 151 for 4 and into our 18th over. So we've got our death bowling after this effort here by Fernando.
Yeah, I was trying for the reverse scoop there with third man inside. Nisar is not the tallest fielder on the ground, so was backing himself to get over that.
Play and a miss there, gets him, and he got an edge to it, so he's out. And that is Malantha, who is the outgoing batsman after a very good innings of 71. I think that is the highest score in this series of games over this weekend. So
yeah, end of a fantastic knock right there from Milanta. Sri Lankan gets Sri Lankan here as Fernando finally gets the better of Milanta. He's been good at the death.
Yes, he's a good batsman to have out right now. And the core of his innings were 4 glorious sixes. I think probably 5. So he's hit very hard, very pure hitter of the ball. From what I could see.
Yep. So right then, 16 balls left in this innings. The strikers would like to get at least 30 runs here.
And in more comes Ankle Bat, who's who's out of California Cricket Academy in Northern California, and also he had an outing last time where, just like Graham, he'd like to get more than the 0 that he had last time. So this is his moment of truth, and we'll see how he handles it. His dad, well involved in cricket up in Northern California, runs the cricket academy there for the last 20 years, takes groups to India and England. And in comes Fernando. Nice flick off his legs there for a quick off the mark. And score moves on to 102 for 5.
Right, then what are the options here? Everyone behind square is inside. Singh looks for his options in front of square. A hit and miss here from him. Fernando with his hands over his head, thinking he should have got his man.
So Ashbrook looking to, already doing better than he did in his innings against the Lashings. Looking to add some more runs as a confidence builder. Singh now facing. As Fernando having a good over here. Just blocks that one. No run. Fernando very happy to stop that. It's obviously stung his hand. Well hit.
Gee, that's spot on from Fernando. That's exactly where he wants to be. Spot on Yorker there. Singh couldn't do much about that.
Class piece of bowling here by Fernando with 2 wickets and 13 runs. Probably bowled the last over as well. And this one just beats the batsman again.
Yeah, I think Singh's getting out of shape here. He's not really looking at the ball. As we reach the end of the 18th over, the strikers are 152 for 5.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Okay, here we are again at Woodley Park into our 19th over. 152 for 5. Silicon Strikers in the driver's seat at the moment.
Here's Vanuri again.
Vanuri to Buch, who gets off a couple of runs there. As he moves his score on to 3. Confidence building all the time as he takes on Vanuri. Vanuri's got 2 wickets for 22 runs. Also had a good outing. This is last over.
Right, then Book's options are straight down the ground and behind square on the leg side. He tucks that behind, but straight to fine leg. Direct hit.
Beautiful piece of fielding there by short fine leg. And the batsman just scampered in time. So Book now on 4 and Singh on 1. And Singh facing Vanuri.
Yeah, good little phase here for the Surf Riders. Not conceded many boundaries since the Melanta wicket. And they'd like to maintain that as we go to the halfway mark of this game.
Yeah, the run rate descending a little bit at the moment, which is having Melantha in the pavilion really helps.
Right, then what does Singh do? Goes across.
Pushes that one out to the offside, straight to Patel there. Isaac Patel throwing in. And Vanuri picking the ball up.
Yeah, he's really not getting in shape here, is saying. His with his head going across, he's not getting the balance he needs to get under the ball and loft it over or smash it down the ground. He needs to make sure his balance is right here.
This one he did, and he got down on his knee to do it, and he tried to loft it. I think it fell just inside the signal to 6. So from here it looked as though it was just inside the boundary, but 6 runs.
This is good from saying. Last ball, he tried to go across and get it on the leg side, but this time he sees that wide open spaces on the offside, gives himself some room and lofts that over for a beautiful 6 over extra cover.
It was a superior shot, that. It really was. The timing was perfect, and on bended knee no less. Venuri tagged for his only 6 so far of his outing, and then he comes again. This one much fuller, and that's a full toss on the leg side and dispatched with ease for 4 runs, so 10 runs off 2 balls. This is not what the Surf Riders needed at this moment.
Yeah, attempted Yorker gone wrong from Venuri. Just a full toss on the leg side. He just had to get bat on it, did Singh. With short fine inside the ring, there was always going to be 4.
Captain Greg Hart just having a word with Venuri now. Probably getting him to shorten up a little bit. This sort of cricket really helps test your ability to handle adversity. And let's see how he adjusts, yeah.
Venuri under pressure here. What does he do? Goes
Comes
length ball.
That was an excellent counterpoint there, and almost follow through to stop the run, but
And that's the end of the 19th over. The score is 166 for 5.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
we come here on his bended knee again, saying that's a signature shot that he's developed there. And he's moved on to 11 now, and Bush on 4. Score at
Last
100.
over of the innings here, 166 on the board. They'd like to get at least another 10 to 15 runs in this over.
Bush facing now, Harsh Bush. Plays here locally for Hollywood Cricket Club. This one he hits hard and high, it's very catchable. Kane underneath it takes a brilliant catch, and Ash is out trying to force the pace at in this last over. So, but he'll be happier with that effort. He faced a few more balls and played the right shot, but it just mishit it.
Yeah, I was wondering with the back of that length that Fernando was bowling, whether the option for the scoop over fine leg was a viable one. Instead, Book tries to flick that on the leg side, just gets an outside edge on that one. And that's a good catch from Marty Kane there. Misjudged that slightly up till the end where he dove forward to take that. It's been a good outing in the field for Marty Kane. He's been excellent off his own bowling and he's taken 2 brilliant catches in the deep.
Yeah, he's had a good day. And Fernando has as well. He's got 2 wickets for 14 runs so far on this last death bowl over.
Yeah,
So,
backing up yesterday's good performance with another one here is Fernando.
so Fernando got 5 more balls. Ash got 4 and 3 before he was caught out. So, in comes Fernando. Driven right back over his head for 4, I think. And striker's very happy with that. So this is Sarab Natravalka, who's U.S. captain. Just, I think, retired from that spot, and now he actually played in the major leagues for the Generals, Washington, and had a six-fer there, so he's a very good fast bowler. Opened the bowling for India in the Under-19 World Cup, so he's looking to force the pace of these last 4 balls, especially against the fast bowling. And again, another whack to mid-on this time, inside the boundary. And Sarab captained the All-Star team of American College Cricket as well, so out of Cornell. So he's had a very good US cricket career following on from his early India breakthrough.
And he's showing his promise with the bat. That was a good strike down the ground here.
Yeah.
What can Singh do now? Looking for the scoop, but goes straight out.
Catchable. Tough
Up
catch.
in the air. Fielder underneath and takes that safely. Fernando with a flurry of wickets here.
Yeah, excellent catch there. Worth the replay, I would say, because it's one of those long hanging ones. Let's have a look at it. Up it goes, high, 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 and then into the classic way to catch a high ball. Beautiful job there. Very nice catch. So Silicon Valley now 172 for 6, making the most of their extra wickets, and Surf Riders happy to get them out rather than have runs on the board. So Netravalka 5 and Rauj, the incoming batsman. Just 2 balls to go and 2 wickets for Fernando, so he's picked up 4 for 19, an excellent spell of fast bowling by the San Diego Surf Riders premier bowler for this particular game.
Right, that last ball of the innings here. What does Rao do? Rao and Netravalkar, usually the opening combination with the ball for the strikers. They have a job to do here with the bat. Last ball. Goes straight down the ground in the gap, but cuts it off. Netravalkar's already on the other end. The sneak in back for 2. That's 174 the strikers end up with, 175 that the Surf Riders need, and the strikers will be extremely pleased with that effort.
Certainly a lot better than yesterday. All right, we'll take a break here from Woodley, with the Silicon Riders in the driver's seat by the looks of things at 172 for 7 after 20 overs, and San Diego Surf Riders looking to pin them back in their innings. Silicon Valley Strikers have 2 very good fast bowling attacks, so it'll be an interesting next 20 overs.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
So here we are at Woodley again with the San Diego Riders coming in to face down a score of 174 for 7. And it'll be a tall order, but they are capable of doing it. And we'll see how things progress. So Silicon Valley Riders in the field. And the opening bat for San Diego. So Nasag, US player facing.
Yeah, it's a change in the opening combination for the Surf Riders. Nisarg Patel comes out to open along with Captain Greg Hay. And we have Saurabh Netravalkar take the new ball in hand. We know he's an experienced customer, played for the USA, played in the Major League. Comes off a dream spell of 6 for 9, playing for Washington Freedom.
No. And then Greg Hay, the captain, coming in number 2.
Right then, Netravalkar to Nisarg Patel, third man and deep square, other 2 men out on the boundary. Gee, that's quick and full. And he's off the mark, is Patel. Right then, the captain has a job to do here. He knows this is possible if he gets going with the aggressive batters that they have in their lineup, the Surf Riders. But he needs to have a big innings here. Needs to play a captain's knock. Slip in place now for him. Clipped off his legs and clipped nicely for 4 to the com box.
So an emphatic response by the captain, Sarab, who captained the US, and quickly moves the score on to 5.
Yeah, loose delivery there from Netravalkar. Hay pounced on it. Didn't have to do much with no fine leg in place. He's off the mark as well. Shot and driven through the offside. Threads it through that gap. This is a good start here from Greg Hay. Second boundary on the trot, and he looks in imperious mood today.
That's a good word. And he's a master blaster out of Australia. Played a lot of cricket at first class level.
Right then, Netravalkar went short and on the pads, went for 4. Went full and outside off, went for 4. What does he do now?
Lovely shot again. He's timing it beautifully.
There again, felt like he should have threaded through that gap. Jayasuriya does a good job getting down and stopping that change of angle here from Netravalkar. He's coming around the wicket now, possibly to contain the width that Hay Again, angled into Greg Hay. Pushed around for a single. With that high back lift of his, Greg Hay. Really not looking to go across that as we reach the end of the first over. It's a good one. It's 10 for no loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Good opening over for the San Diego Surf Riders with 10 runs on the board. Greg Hay forcing the pace. Captain's innings so far at 9. And the Sagas just face the one ball. And Greg farming the strike a little bit.
Right, then immediately we're going to see the introduction of some slow left arm bowling. We have Srinivas Raghavan coming into the attack. Wily customer he is with his slow left arm orthodox. Here he is to Greg Hay. Flighted and driven through the offside. Driven through that gap. Will it reach the boundary? Fielder does a good job cutting it off. But they're going to sneak in 3 here. Other Surf Riders. Greg Hay looks in good touch.
Timing is very good. He gets very low down on the ball with his bended knee.
Yeah, he looked good yesterday as well, did Greg Hay. Missed out on a good opportunity. Flighted again. Not afraid to flight the ball, is he? Is Raghavan. Patel manages to get a single of that.
Patel's a useful opener to have in, and that is he understands spin bowling pretty well, so he'll be able to read it. Straight to the fielder.
It's a good job there by the cover fielder. Has saved a couple of runs there.
The wind really picking up here on the ground.
Oh, that's beaten him. All ends up. Beaten the keeper too.
And they get 2 runs from it.
So 2 men out on the boundary. We have 1 at deep mid wicket and we have Jasuria here at long off. Flatter into the body from Raghavan. He's been wearing his line and length here.
Interesting over by Raghavan. Very good.
And he sneaked through him. Greg Hay went across, looked to sweep that over fine leg between the gap between short fine and square leg. Ends up
And then comes Netravalka. Just gets pushed away there on the offside.
He was gone there, was Patel. Had Graham hit at the non-strikers end. Patel had given up already. Luckily for him. He's still out there.
Yes, he needs a bit of luck. We all do, right?
And in comes Gorawara, the wicketkeeper bat for the Surf Riders. Played an aggressive knock yesterday, looked in good touch. Will look to do more of the same today. His team needs it today. Chasing a mammoth total here. And we know that chasing at Woodley, especially here at right, has been tough to do over these past 4 games. So Mountain ahead of the Surf Riders.
Pitches that one a little bit shorter. Face down by Garwara. So Sarab a little bit more on point since he changed coming round the wicket. Great.
Yeah.
Struck him for 2 easy fours though when he was bowling over.
Yeah, Netravalkar realizes there's no swing that he's getting there. So he's just trying to keep it at a line and length.
Yeah.
That's wrapped him on the pads. Is that going high? No, the umpire doesn't think so. Thinks he's adjacent. And he's given him. Gee, that looked high from this end. The umpire doesn't think so. And Gorawara has to depart. That's 2 big wickets now for the strikers. They've struck early. And 2 aggressive batsmen have to depart for the Surf Riders. They're in trouble early here.
And in comes Marty Kane, the Kiwi, looking to stem the flow here after 2 quick wickets. And Sarab striking in his second over. After a relatively expensive over for first over, he's really come back to his usual sharp self and kept the runs down, picking up a wicket there. So Marty had a great innings against Lashings, got out just under 50, and 2 brilliant catches today in the outfield. We'll be looking to stabilize the innings here for the Surf Riders.
Yeah, not much time to stabilize though, with the run rate constantly peaking up. It's already above 9 and over. And so Marty Kane will have to get into his work quickly here. Netravalkar with his tail up.
Marty coming right out of his crease to face him down.
Still at the back of the length from Netravalkar. This is good bowling from him. Consistently prodding at that length, asking some questions of Marty Kane.
Sarab thought he had a wicket again there, so he's obviously in the hunt at the moment.
This is a good start here from the from the strikers. Here's Netravalkar to finish off his second over. He
Oh,
gets
and he's bowled
him.
him.
It goes through Marty Kane and Netravalkar gets 2 in the over. Gee, he might be a software engineer at Oracle, but he's engineering a collapse here. Is Saurabh Netravalkar. Marty Kane goes for a duck. That's the second wicket in the over, only 1 off it. And the Surf Riders have big problems here at 17 for 3.
just saying what a wonderful over by Sarup. 2 wickets for 1 run, and what a lonely walk for Marty Kane, because he had a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and Surfrider's really going to have to dig deep now. 17 for 3.
Yeah, and out to accompany Nasar Patel comes Chad Breedsky, who scored a breezing 30 odd in the last game against the East Bay Blazers. We'll need a lot more from him today if the Surf Riders are to get anywhere close to this total.
Nisarg is going to have to dig deep too for his batting skills. He's quite capable of holding things together.
Flighted. Gee, that's good pace. That's really good from Raghavan. Tempting the batsman here. He knows 3 wickets are down. He's asking the batsman to take initiative if they're willing to take the risk and hoping to get a wicket in the process.
Nicely struck, breaks in a cordon there, and there'll be probably 3 runs if they run fast. That's 4 runs. It actually crossed the boundary, the first boundary, I think, for the Surf Riders. They'll be pleased with that. Score moves on to 21 for 3.
Yeah, they'll need more of this, won't they, the Surf Riders? The occasional bat ball from Raghavan just went a bit short after going for that flighted good delivery, and Patel pounced on that, threaded through that gap on the offside. Gets 4 for that shot.
Good chase there by the field, and we come again, and again attempted cut shot, but beats the batsman this time.
He's slightly fuller, slightly flatter, and slightly faster there from Raghavan. Looking to beat the bat.
And he's got a nice crosswind to help him as well.
Wily customer he is Raghavan.
Have you played it?
No, I have not.
Yeah. You can spot a lot from the booth, can't you?
Going over and on. And that goes all the way, doesn't it? This is good from Patel. Shot saw the fly, his eyes lit up and saw mid on inside the ring. Was a safe shot even if he had mistimed it. Boy, did he time it. That one that sailed over the long on boundary, and that's a 6. This is proving to be an expensive over now from Raghavan. Nisarg Patel knows despite the fall of wickets, he has to take the game on. And he's doing exactly that at this moment.
Power play still on, so there's very few boundary fielders at the moment.
Flighted again, goes for that same gap again. Not the same result, but the Surf Riders will take it. Another boundary for Patel. He gets a piece of Raghavan again. 14 of this over with a ball to go. And Raghavan is under pressure.
So the variety of spin is being well read by Nisarg, who's a very good spin bowler himself. Probably the right man to be facing Raghavan.
No changes in the field here. Wide outside. This is better from Raghavan as he concludes that over.
16 off that over and 27 for 3. Well, if this were a boxing match, I'd have given that round to the San Diego Surf Riders. So Bressy now to face his first ball. Plays that confidently to the off for a quick single.
That's what they'll have to do in between. In between the boundaries that they get, they'll have to take these quick singles inside the ring, put pressure on the fielders here.
Yeah.
For the strikers.
Well, this is the time that Jasuri and Malenka put on their good partnership, and this is exactly what San Diego need now. And these two perfectly capable of doing it.
Netravalkar in for his third over in the power play. This is good attacking bowling from the strikers. Pitch stop.
Peel for LBW. We've already had one given. And the ball is staying low off Sarab's bowling. It's not bouncing all that much. Gets that one to raise a bit. Played down by Nisag. Nisag on 17 now off to 11 balls. Baritsi off the mark. Netravalkar now the man that we know not for his usual economy. 2 wickets for 12 runs after getting hit for 10 in the first over. So he's really brought it back.
This is excellent bowling here from Netravalkar. He's keeping it at a line and a length.
I just love the way he sets himself up, just psyching himself before he powers into his run-up.
And a very smooth action coming down.
Yeah, very, very economical, which probably means he'll last long in the game.
And probably means less injuries as well.
Yeah. Slightly shorter of a length, and Baritsi picks it up. Nisag picks it up. Very quiet here in the stadium now as Sarab gets ready to get another dot ball. Baritsi pushes this out to off for a single. Great over.
So 5 overs gone. The Surf Riders are 33 for the last 3 wickets.
वेलकम टू डायलिंग हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है
बहुत शुक्रिया प्लीज
अरे आप भी समोसे
यू विल लव दिस समोसा सुना है मार्केट में नए आए हैं
ओए नए शे हम नहीं खाते हुए
नए माने
वो लक्ष्मी है ना
लक्ष्मी के फ्रोजन समोसे
जी हाँ, ऑथेंटिक पंजाबी टेस्ट वाले।
एक समोसा और
आपको नए वाले तो खाने नहीं थे
ओ यार ये तो लक्ष्मी है ना
Introducing Lakshmi Frozen Samosa range.
So Thadani now on to bowl. Score at 33 for 3. Nisarg Patel facing on 18 after 14 balls. Punches that one down. Nothing doing.
Gee, that was quick there from Thadani. Almost beat through Patel. Patel just managed to get some bat on that in the end.
Jumped down on it quite a bit, yeah. Again, keeps him out, just fending him off really, not getting the full use of his shoulders at the moment, as this game brought to us by Sunoco and Lakshmi Enterprises.
This is good bowling here from the quicker bowlers of the strikers. They're not giving much for the batters to work with. Again at that length, probing. Quick single there by Patel. Early call and Britsky says yes to.
Yes, I think the bowling attack is doing a good job of keeping just right on the batsman and not giving anything wide at all. Very accurate. Keeping the pressure on the Sacramento Valley strikers. Shorter this time. Pushed out to the off. No run. So the pressure building here on San Diego Surf Riders.
Yeah, every dot ball, this required run rate just hikes up a bit.
We're almost into double figures now on the run rate. And Britzy will know that.
Good
He's
first over here from Tadani. Excellent bowling here. Excellent. The strikers know they don't really need to enforce the game here. It's the burdens on the Surf Riders here to take the game on its head.
Yes, it's their game to win. And the strikers, all they need to do is do what they're doing right now. Just bowling steadily and straight at the batsman, not giving anything wide. Again, beautifully played. Good fielding.
He takes some time to get downstairs as Netravalkar, but he does a good job there. So at the end of 6 overs, that's the end of the power play. And the Surf Riders are in trouble at 36 for 3.
Netravalkar may have injured himself on that dive, so we'll see how that impacts his bowling. He's just holding his shoulder there a bit.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So as the umpire signals the end of the power play, Pankaj Rao now comes into the attack. Pankaj Rao, who hails from Chhattisgarh in India, has played quite a lot of cricket. He's played for India A and India B teams and is an experienced professional.
India Blues too, I think you mentioned.
Here he comes in, right arm quick to Nisarg Patel. Steamy action as he paces through his run-up.
Yeah, sort of a windmill action. Very fast, very quick release. Rajesh Rao.
Sort of an unusual action that can take time to get used to.
Yeah. But very effective.
Opened the bowling the other day. Comes in as second change here.
Guided nicely to deep third man there. Just be a single.
Yeah, singles are not going to hurt the strikers here. They know the surf riders need more than that.
And now we've got power play off, boundary. Fielders are well positioned at mid-on, mid-off, mid-wicket. Deep third man and extra cover. Nice pickup. Beautiful throw. Just scampers through in time. Score now 38 for 3. 39 for 3, sorry. So San Diego run rate is 6, needing a run rate of 10.7 to overhaul the Silicon Valley strikers. And Rao bowling well, tightly. Just 3 off him off 3 balls so far. Swing and a miss on that one.
Yeah, you know, something's got to give here.
Yeah.
Haven't had boundaries in about 10 balls now. Can't afford that, the surf riders. They can't afford dot balls too. Almost criminal at this stage now. Very early into their innings.
Well, it's certainly under pressure with 3 wickets down, and Saurabh those early strikes with his 2 wickets and 12 runs.
So deep third now comes into the ring. He's looking straight down the ground as Britsky. Shot and pulled away over fine leg.
4 runs.
And it races away to the boundary. Poor option by Pankaj, who knew fine leg was inside the ring. Goes short, goes slow, and gave Britsky ample time to get under that. And he gets that over fine leg for a much needed boundary for the surf riders.
What do you think the strategy there is by the captain to bring in the fielders? I guess they want to cut off the quick singles.
I think the captain knows that Britsky's main options are on the leg side, going straight down the ground.
Straight to mid-wicket there.
And so getting deep third and these fielders behind square in the inside allows them to protect the area out in front. As we conclude the 7th over, the Surf Riders are 43 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So the captain brings himself on to bowl now. What do you know about Suri?
So Pranay Suri, experienced player here, bowls good slow bowling here. He's an experienced customer. He's a wicket taker, is Pranay Suri. He also has quite a bit of education as he comes in here to bowl his first ball.
Lovely square shot there. One of those rare balls that's been got out was cuttable. So but he moved that ball quite a bit.
Studied at UC Irvine, did Pranay Suri, then moved on to study at UC Berkeley. He's currently a product manager at Facebook, so he's managing his troops well here.
Managing his products.
Right then, flied it up slightly fuller. Britsky thought he had the cut there, not to be. As a slip comes into place, or rather a third man.
Nicely struck off his legs there. Looking for a second, but nothing doing. What a great game, cricket, for keeping fit when you're doing jobs like that. Keeps you sharp.
Yep, definitely, and provides a good avenue to express yourself as well.
Yeah.
Britsky slipped. Oh, Patel had edged that through third man. Britsky thought that was a run. It was his call. Patel was ball watching and denied that. Britsky, returning to his crease, slipped and almost thought he was gone there. Wayward throw from the third fielder. And Britsky stays on.
Great shot there out on the offside to Pierce's mid-wicket, and that'll be a single. But again, we need some boundaries as well.
Yeah, this is not going to do it for the Surf Riders.
Their run rate 5.87, and they need 10.6 and over to overhaul San Diego Strikers. I mean,
goes for the reverse as Britsky. Suri beats them all, ends up at the end of the 8th over. Suri concedes 3 in his first. The Surf Riders are 46 for 3.
Good piece of bowling that by the captain.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Play and a miss there. That's score on 46 for 3. We're just saying that we need some boundaries here if San Diego are to have any chance in this game.
Yeah, it's a warm afternoon here at Woodley Park, but there's only one team feeling the heat here, with the Surf Riders really under pressure.
Nisag doing the anchor roll here on 24 and 23 balls. Facing Rao. Punches him back.
This is excellent bowling from the strikers. They've not provided many loose balls.
Just 7 off his first over.
Yes, target over mid-wicket here, does Patel. Or over covers on the offside. Tries to go straight. There's a fielder there and it beats through him. Gee, that's gonna let Patel breathe for a bit.
Nice drive there by Nisag as he brings the score up to 28. Well hit.
That was hit hard. That was pitched up. It was in the slot. Patel got a good chunk of that. Tried to hike it all the way. Wasn't able to get the whole of it. And you'd think that the long on fielder should have done better there.
Yeah, he's a little wide, isn't he? He should probably get a bit finer. Rao in for his 5th now.
50 up for the Surf Riders here. Shot again.
This will go to the fielder this time. And they may get 2. They decide not to take the second.
Gee,
Probably a good decision by the looks of that throw.
That's excellent fielding from Jayasuriya. Doesn't seem like the best outfielder out there, but he was quick onto the ball and an even better throw to the wicketkeeper there.
Anticipated well. He's come a bit finer now. It does seem to be Nisarg's favourite shot at the moment.
Yeah, and Fabritsky, he likes to be cheeky here, and he has an opportunity to do it with fine leg inside the circle and no one behind square on the leg side. Comes down the track, tries to heave it over mid-wicket, but misses it completely. Really struggling here. Other Surf Riders not able to get a move on.
Beaten for pace on that one, I would think, Arch. Yeah. Missed that one as well. So excellent over by Rao there. And really puts another nail in the coffin of for San Diego Surf Riders at the moment. So trying hard.
वेलकम टू डैलेस हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है
बहुत शुक्रिया प्लीज
अरे आप भी समोसे
यू विल लव दिस समोसा सुना है मार्केट में नए आए हैं
ओए नए शे हम नहीं खाते हुए
नए माने
वो लक्ष्मी है ना
लक्ष्मी के फ्रोजन समोसे
जी हाँ, ऑथेंटिक पंजाबी टेस्ट वाले।
एक समोसा और
आपको नए वाले तो खाने नहीं थे
ओ यार ये तो लक्ष्मी है ना
Introducing Lakshmi Frozen Samosa range.
Silicon Valley strikers captain on for his third over here. The score at 51 for 3. Plays very respectfully, Nisarg. He's on 27 balls. He has to stay there to keep this innings anchored.
Right, then fielders out on the deep on the leg side. Bowls outside off. He's got a top edge on that. He's not got all of it. Jayasuriya underneath it completes the catch. And Patel's inning is finally over. Captain gets the breakthrough. We knew something was got to give. And Patel perishes in pursuit. Fourth wicket down for the Surf Riders. And they don't have much on the board. Long way to go here.
A very important wicket because he was the anchor. They've just taken the anchor out. So the Surf Riders are adrift at the moment. And we're going to have to establish a new partnership. So Bretsky will have to take on the role. So Suri doing extremely well. New batsman in. Have a quick chat there in the middle. New batsman taking guard here. Decides on a leg side stance.
This is good from Suri. He's keeping it tight here. As Reddy comes in, the new batter. Shot and pulled away. That's gonna be a boundary.
Nice way for Reddy to get off the mark.
Just as he was saying, he was keeping it tight. Suri drops one shot. And a nice back foot punch there from Reddy. Hit that one hard. Long off, didn't have to move much, but that was struck with disdain there from Reddy.
Struck hard with disdain, huh? Absolutely. But we're still at 5.69. And we need 11.61 and over now. Score at 55 for 4.
Almost 2 a ball here required of the Surf Riders.
Yeah, each time they don't get a 2, it's a problem. Pressure building here for San Diego.
That's the end of the over. At the halfway mark, the Surf Riders are 55 for 4.
Projected rate of 110 at that moment.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
In comes Thadani again. They do get a single off that one. So Reddy on 4. Brutsky moves on to 9 now.
Gee, there's enormous pressure on these two now. It's possibly the last recognized batting pair here for the Surf Riders. Breedsky needs to get a move on here. 13 balls for 9 runs isn't gonna do it.
That one's a little shorter, digs it out. But no run.
Yeah, the loose ball is not easy to come by here from the strikers. They've really tightened their lengths.
They're not forcing anything. They're just bowling very accurately, very comfortably on a length. Here we go, a bit shorter this time. That picks that one up.
And the longer fielder isn't able to cut that off, and that goes for a boundary.
A much needed for the San Diego Surf Riders.
Just came down the track a bit, did Reddy, and made some room through that and smashed that through covers.
That's been the major scoring shot with the San Diego Surf Riders, has that been? Shot over the bowler's head.
And in some ways, it's also cost them because they've not seen versatile scoring options. They've stuck to just that straight shot there. And while it has resulted in a few rewards for them, it's also cost them the wicket at times.
Yeah, when they've hit square, they've often been caught, and that's been they've come off that trajectory. It's a problem. Good length bowling here by the Silicon Valley team.
Short and cut away towards third.
10 years ago in American cricket. We've got retaining a sort of responsibility for the team, I think, over time.
Rather than the Kettle coming in for the third over. Charge is on the track as Breeds is ready, and they sat down to midwicket. On bowling, sort of spoiled his figures there.
You better watch out for the selection committee. Knocks that one past the outstretched hand of the captain for a single.
Again, this time toss the big one. Long toss to it. At center of the triangle forming from the 3 feet was the lead. Doing too badly here.
If they get this wicket, there's not much left in the pavilion, right, in terms of batting. Does that be your strategy?
Yeah, and Breedsky, as he just misses that, kicks himself, kicks his pads. Knows he's got to get a move on, and the pressure's building on him with every dot ball. Charges down the track, tries to heave it over long on, gets an edge on that. It's only going to be a single.
So score moves on to 75 for 4. And these two have put on about 30 runs together now. So it is the partnership that was needed, but needs to be scoring a little bit faster now.
Right, then goes for the scoop, gets it, executes it successfully.
And we're going to get 4 runs.
We talked about how the scoop shot was an option given that fine leg was inside the circle. We thought that Britsky was the one who's going to take it, but Reddy says, I'll do this one. Gets on his knees, and that's a delicate scoop over fine leg. Comes down the track, beats him, Dastadani. That's a good comeback there to end the over.
A good bowler. Hit 19 and 3 overs off his 3 overs. Just the 4 off the penultimate ball there. So run rate up a little bit. That's 6.08, but now we need 13, almost 14 and over. So these two have to stay there and up the tempo a little bit if they're going to have any chance at all. So who would you bring on at this time? They got Raghavan.
Yeah, that's what I said last over. It would have been a good idea to bring on Raghavan, given these two right-handers, the ball spinning away, and Raghavan trying to tempt them with his flight and guile.
Right.
But I guess the captains listened.
Probably looking at the broadcast. Huh?
That's good viewership.
Yeah.
So Britsky standing way outside. Yeah, and that's
swing and a miss. Tries to cut it.
And that's been the problem here. Because Britsky is standing so outside of his leg stump, he's not able to reach these balls that Raghavan is bowling outside.
That one's up-ish and out. Oh, that's, yes, well caught finally. But up-ish and out.
Gee, that was short. It was punched away to covers. A bit of a juggling act there by the cover fielder. But Britsky's painful knock comes to an end. Never really got going at Britsky. Contrary to his aggressive nature that we've sort of become accustomed to. A soft dismissal to end his innings, and that's a very scratchy knock that comes to the end. And Surf Riders lose their 5th.
This is the sort of thing I think that will improve with time over the course. So it's 79 for 4 now. Slightly pitched up and pushed away there by the bat. And the Surf Riders happy to see Dutta got off the mark there. Raghavan the bowler. Srini Raghavan.
This is going to do a world of confidence for Raghavan here, and for the strikers here if they're able to get this win.
Mishit, but they'll get a single off it on the onside there.
Given yesterday's painful loss against the Lashings.
Yes, it was a tough loss. Very good game though. Went right down to the last over. Played that late, but beautiful shot. It'll just be a single for it. Sometimes you get to that point in the game where you're just practicing rather than just actually playing. think we're at that transitional point right now.
Yeah, it's not been a great weekend for the Surf Riders. 2 losses and a spot of bother here, as that's punched away to long off for a single.
Nice little punch out there by Reddy. So Dutcher on 2 already, and the score at 82 for 5. 83 for 5.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Rao back on now at the Wong end.
Required run rate now up to 15 and a third. Rao steams and pitched it up, an almighty swing there from Reddy.
Rao keeping his pace up nicely. The ball bounced quite high on that one. For the most part, Sarab was getting his balls to go low. Quite a contrast to these two bowlers.
Quite a hit the deck hard bowler as Rao. So it generates that much more extra bounce off the surface.
A lot of upper body strength there.
Goes for the scoop again. This
And
time
caught.
it's straight to fine leg.
Drop.
Just drop short possibly to Srinivas Raghavan. Tried to be cheeky there again, did Reddy. Did not come off, almost cost him his wicket.
That was a very cheeky shot. And really low percentage shot too, because the fielder was already there. And of course, it was hard to guide that. But it's a new, nice addition to the stroke repertoire, that's for sure.
And for these two batters right now, they must play freely. They
Yeah.
can't be bogged down by the pressure of the run rate or the match situation here. They just need to express themselves at this point. Even if they're not able to get this win, the fact that they can get close and possibly play an innings of substance will do well for these two players going forward into the tournament.
Yeah, building their confidence no matter what. And also getting more familiar with these bowlers as well. All good practice. So Reddy now on 21 in 18 balls, and Nikhil Dutta 3 in 3. Reddy facing. Hits that one nicely.
And he's gone.
And it's caught.
Straight down long off's throat. Thought he had made a good sound of the bat. Thought he had got all of it, but not to be. Another one goes down, and this time it's Reddy. Rao gets his first wicket. Just pitched back of a length into the wicket. Reddy did not catch much on that, as he's caught there at long off. He has to depart. That's the 6th wicket down now for the Surf Riders. And the game looks all but done now.
Yes, Reddy was just mishit that really. Again, though, he was playing to that fine leg position, and he'd almost been out prior to that. And so he gave 2 chances in that fine leg position. If he's to look at his how he got out, he should probably amend some of his batting technique right there. Okay, now we are into 85 for 6 with really the tail end of the batting to come. 14 overs gone, almost 15. Run rate's been 5.8 and 16, almost 17 now needed per over. So we need an explosive batsman at this point. And the most part, they're sitting in the pavilion.
Adnesh comes in to bat. Had a poor outing with the ball yesterday and today, and would like to do something of substance with the bat here for his team.
He's a youngster, just recently joined the squad. Very tall for his age. Unusual shot. I don't think he knew where that one was. I think he just ducked underneath it. Just put his bat up as protection.
Took his eyes off the ball there, didn't he? Was short, and well, top order batter would have pulled that for 6, but Adnesh not to be, took his eyes off there. Lucky did not get hit. As we're about to reach the conclusion of the 15th over. Still going at less than run a ball are the Surf Riders. That's it. That's the short ball, and that's muscled away by Datta towards the parking lot. That's out of the ground. Might have damaged a few cars there, but Datta's having a good day. Was impressive with the ball, and now monstrous hit with the bat. 15 overs gone. The Surf Riders are 92 for 6.
A monstrous hit. As Dutta moves on to 7 in 4 balls. 9 on 4 balls. That's 6. 92 for 6. It's nice to see that. Going across the grain of play. So Ash taking a leg side, leg stance here.
Yeah, I think the ball's been lost there. Fielder's not been able to locate it in the parking lot.
We had this problem yesterday, finding a ball that's 15 overs worn as a replacement. We lost one over in the bushes there yesterday. But at least it was a 6, so there's no extra runs.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Right, then ball's been found. Or a new ball has been taken rather. As Adnesh looks at what his options are, he's going to fancy the spinner here. Raghavan comes in, beats him, all ends up. Umpire Ashwin says it's straying down leg. Raghavan cannot believe it.
Yeah, Ash has to assert himself. He's got to build his confidence. Recent addition to the San Diego Surf Riders. Each innings will help, I guess.
Flighted, goes for it as Adnesh doesn't get a hold of it. Long unsettles underneath it and takes a comfortable catch. Raghavan gets his third, he's on a roll. And Adnesh, after a painful innings, has to depart.
Yes, the batting has been a bit streaky toward the end here. So
And they're just falling like a deck of cards, aren't they? The Surf Riders.
yeah, they've tried to scratch their way out of this, and unfortunately can't do that at this level. So the Silicon bowling attack has had San Diego under the gun from the beginning.
Raghavan now into his final over with excellent figures of 3 for 24. He's been good. He's varied his pace. He's put flight on the ball when needed to. And even though he got a little beating there by Patel earlier on, he's come back and come back strong. Here he is to Guy and Fernando. Pitch stop again.
Invaluable practice now for the tail end of the Surf Riders. Score is 92 for 7. Still just under a ball and over.
Fernando goes for it. In the deep. Fielder in the deep did not judge that quickly. Yeah, the fielder was caught unaware there. He was standing his ground, did not see where the ball was, realized late, and as he charged down, even though he got to the pitch of where the ball would be, shells it. Raghavan could have had 4 there.
This time he pushes it out to the offside, picked up by mid-wicket there, no run.
Yeah, it's not going to cost them much, but the strikers, especially with that misfield and that drop catch, have something to reflect on.
Straight to cover there. Again, tight bowling.
That's the end of the 16th over. The Surf Riders are 94 for 7.
So Sarab Natravalka back on. Probably looking to wipe up the tail quickly. This is one of his specialties. He's done it many times before.
We're seeing again why it's so hard to chase on this ground.
Yeah.
As Natravalka charges in onto the stumps. Datta gets a bat on it.
He's really not relying on swing all that much. He's just line and length at the moment. Fast line and length, but forcing the batsman to play every ball. Now they take some middle and leg guard here.
Yeah, and lots of positives for the strikers to take out of this game. Proactive batting from them, batting in partnerships, and then good slog by the batters there at the end, and then backing that up with a extremely clinical bowling performance here today.
I totally agreed. I think when you are on top, you can play your own game, and certainly the strikers were able to do that today. Lashings took it away from them yesterday. They undermined their confidence, which was really excellent fielding, whereas today we've never had that change of domination within the game.
And Datta's been one of the positives for the Surf Riders today.
Yes, yeah, I'd agree with that.
A short and
looking for a catch, doesn't get it, but it's been a very effective ball in the past.
that was above Datta. He waited for it and really wasn't able to get much on it. It's the first bounce of the over signaled by the umpire. Netravalka will be looking to go full and straight here.
Still shortish. Managed to just get a single out of it. Very hard bowler to get away, Netravalka. He keeps it straight. You have to play him straight. It's very hard to cut him. Pushed away there beautifully on the onside. That'll just be another single. And at this point, San Diego just playing for experience and confidence. Tail end getting a chance to develop their skills against a very good bowler, Netravalka. Fernando facing also a very good bowler. Hits
Fernando
this one
goes for it.
beautifully. Just drops in front of mid-on there. Or long on, as some people like to call it.
That's the 100 up for the Surf Riders at the end of the 17th over.
वेलकम टू डायलिंग हमारे मोहल्ले में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है
बहुत शुक्रिया प्लीज
अरे आप भी समोसे
यू विल लव दिस समोसा सुना है मार्केट में नए आए हैं
ओए नए शे हम नहीं खाते हुए
नए माने
वो लक्ष्मी है ना
लक्ष्मी के फ्रोजन समोसे
जी हाँ, ऑथेंटिक पंजाबी टेस्ट वाले।
एक समोसा और
आपको नए वाले तो खाने नहीं थे
ओ यार ये तो लक्ष्मी है ना
Introducing Lakshmi Frozen Samosa range.
Okay, San Diego Surf Riders surfing to 100 for 7. Ashbuk now coming on to bowl. I'm sure he'll be excited to get into the attack here. Got a lot of touring experience in India and England. He's played at Oundle and King's College Taunton. Played a lot of regional cricket in India and playing here locally with the Hollywood Cricket Club. Northern California product.
That's straight down the ground. Will Longov clear it up? He does. Jasuria does a good job there.
Sheehan picks up the ball beautifully. He moves very fast for a man of his size. Powerful hitter of the ball.
Yeah, just some banter there between the two Sri Lankans, Fernando and Jasuria there.
Lovely shot. Pushes out. Probably hard enough before, yes. So Ash here moving up a level. Struck for 4.
Yeah, it was full and wide. And Datta just punched that through the offside. Raced away to the boundary.
Has a nice run up, very efficient. Ties the batsman up a little bit, but still managed to push it away for a single. As we watch this game here at Woodley Park, it's funded by our sponsors, Sunoco and Lakshmi Enterprises, Bravo Industries. On his 4th ball, now struck straight to Jasuria here. Sheehan picks it up, throws it back in. So good time to bring on a new bowler. fresh.
Yeah, the captain just letting Boog have a feel of the pitch, feel of the game here. Just getting him involved.
And this is what you want with this sort of cricket, isn't it? That's part of the game. Part of the reasons you have minor league. And we come again, pushes out to the offside. Score now 107 for 7. Score rate now 29 needed a run per over, so it's good time to bring on all your other bowlers. And he bowls him. Played right around that, played right over the ball. So Arsh happy to pick up his first wicket. I'm not sure whether it's his first one in minor league cricket, but I know his dad Hamant will be happy up in Northern California with that. Picking up a wicket for 8 runs off that over. And feather in his cap. So San Diego now at 107 for 8, really under the gun. And hopefully they'll make the 20 overs.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
$108 for 8 now, San Diego Surf Riders chasing 174 for 7. Nice shot there, finds the gap. There's Vedant Jain, he can bat. USC product. Leg spin bowler, got hit a little bit earlier today, but I've seen him hit several sixes in a row. Plays here locally with USC.
Thadani here tasked to bowl the penultimate over. His leg side fielders are all out on the deep and a sweeper and a long off on the offside. Shot and beaten.
Beaten for pace, I would say there, Raj.
Yeah, and Thadani's been impressive too. Not got the wicket yet, but certainly deserves one.
Yeah.
With the way he's operated.
He has 20 off his 3 overs so far. Oh,
And there he gets
got
it.
him.
We called for it, and that was a full delivery. Played off the back foot, did Jen, and that beat him through. Just 1 wicket left now for the Surf Riders to get. There are 109 for 9.
So Vedant just not getting going at all. And Thadani does finally pick up that wicket that he, as you said, he well deserves. Yeah, it can be lonely going back after losing. It's a tough game. It's a tough game mentally. As you
Yeah, and it's been a tough weekend for the Surf Riders.
Yeah.
The 3 losses now, including this one, and they have some reflection to do here. The strikers, on the other hand, as that's been called a wide, the strikers, on the other hand, will take a lot of positives from this game. It's going to boost their morale given what happened last evening.
Yeah, yesterday was a bit of an upset against Lashings, I think. Although I spoke with the manager, he didn't think so. But compared to the way they performed last year, I think they were top of their league.
Yeah, this is more of the performance we know of strikers. We expect of strikers.
Strong bowling side. They've got a good variety of bowling they can throw at you.
Yeah, you have good pace coming in both right arm and left arm, and then with the slow bowlers you have Raghavan with the slow left arm and the captain himself with his regular right arm off ease. So they're a varied lineup, quite a versatile bowling lineup, and they've quite a bit of depth in their batting as well.
This one's picked up nicely. It's a much shorter ball, and it's made 6. Unfortunately, it's not going to trouble the run ratio at this point, but nice shot all the same.
There's a shot and a half there from Datta. He's been the lone positive today from this game.
He's had a great game, and he's already scored 20 and 13 balls, so he can feel very happy with his performance today. Top scores for the Surf Riders have been in the 20s. He's up there with the leading batsman.
Yeah, and for the Surf Riders, they'll have to realize that their top order needs to take more responsibility. They lost too many wickets too early, and the game was most of the way decided in the power play itself, with them being 3 wickets down.
Yeah, within 6 overs, the foundation had been cracked.
Starting right from the captain there at the top, Greg Hay.
Yeah.
After getting off to a good start, you'd expect him to carry on and score big.
A lot of work to do.
Tadani to finish off a spell. Tucked away for a single, and that's the end of a wonderful spell here by Tadani. Figures won't show it, but he's been more than brilliant today.
1 for 28 at the end of 4 overs for him, and then Dutta now on 17. And had a good little cameo here by Dutta. And he bowled well too. He had a very good bowling spell, so he's had a great game.
Yeah, didn't get any wicket, but he was extremely economical.
Right.
Conceded 13 runs in 4 overs, and when your side has conceded 175 runs, that's extremely good performance.
Yeah. So 57 needed after this last over. That's a lot to score. Never been done, I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change today. Last over of what has been a dismal batting performance from the Surf Riders.
Except for Nikhil Dutta, who's can be justly proud. He's facing the batting again, and to Ash Butch, who's now 1 for 8, took a wicket in his first over. Struck right past Ash to the Jasuria here, just for a single at mid-off. Jasuria had a great innings yesterday and a good one today.
Yeah, and Tatta just keeping the strike. He wants as many balls as he can.
Now we hit on the onside. Would be another single. So 4 balls left of this match. The score at 120 for 9. Harsh Bush bowling. And Venturi now, who's the last batsman in to face. And he gets them. That's two wickets there for Ash. That cleans up the batting. And San Diego Surf Riders are all out for 119.
Yeah.
Losing by about 57 runs.
Yeah, a huge defeat here for the San Diego Surf Riders. 55 runs, the margin of victory for the strikers. They've been clinical with bat and ball, and it's a dominating win for them. Good morale booster for them, while the Surf Riders have a wave of problems to overcome as they go further into this tournament. Great game of cricket here at Woodley Park.
Been great commentating with Yash. I love the analytics, and as we were saying earlier, the next stage of broadcasting is to have an analytical historian in the booth, I think. But delightful to share the booth with you, and hopefully again soon.
Yeah, likewise.
Oh, we've got the sheet up here that's everybody can see. But Netravalka 2 for 19, Buck did very well with 2 for 9, and Raghavan 3 for 26. So that's really the story right there, is in the bowling, I think, for the Silicon Valley side.
Clipped off his legs and clipped nicely for 4 to the com box. Shot and driven through the offside, threads it through that gap. This is a good start here from Greg Hay. Second boundary on the trot, and he looks in imperious mood today.
Very good.
And he sneaked through him. Greg Hay went across, looked to sweep that over, fine leg between. That's wrapped him on the pads. Is that going high? No, the umpire doesn't think so. Thinks he's adjacent, and he's given him. Here's Netravalkar to finish off his second over. He gets him. It goes through Marty Kane, and Netravalkar gets 2 in the over. Gee, he might.
Nicely struck, breaks in a cordon there, and there'll be probably 3 runs if they run fast. That's 4 runs. It actually fielders at the moment.
Flighted again, goes for that same gap again. Not the same result, but the Surf Riders will take it. Another boundary for Patel. He gets a piece of shot and pulled away over fine leg.
4 runs.
And it races away to the boundary. Poor option by. Tries to go straight. There's a fielder there, and it beats through him. Gee, that's gonna let out on the deep on the leg side. Bowls outside off. He's got a top edge on that. He's not got all of it. Jayasuriya underneath it completes the catch. And Patel's inning is finally over. Captain, the new batter. Shot and pulled away. That's gonna be a boundary.
Nice way for Reddy. Here we go, a bit shorter this time. That picks that one up.
And a longer fielder isn't able to cut that off, and that goes for a boundary. Right then, goes for the scoop, gets it, executes it successfully.
And we're going to get 4 runs.
Eats these balls that Raghavan is bowling outside.
That one's up-ish and out. Oh, that's, yes, well caught finally. But up-ish and out. Ready facing. Hits that one nicely.
And he's gone.
And it's caught.
Straight down long off's throat. That's it. That's the short ball, and that's muscled away by Datta towards the parking lot. That's out of the ground. Might have damaged a few cars there, but Datta's having a good flight. It goes for it as Adnesh doesn't get a hold of it. Long unsettles underneath it and takes a comfortable catch. Raghavan gets
there. Lovely shot. Pushes out. Probably hard enough before, yes. Good time to bring on all your other bowlers. And he bowls him. Played right around off his 3 overs so far. Well,
and there he gets it. We called for it, and that was a full delivery.
This one's picked up nicely. It's a much shorter ball. And it's made 6. And he gets him. That's 2 wickets there for Ash. So that cleans up the...
Brought to you by our 2023 partners.